So let's begin by settling the body, adopting a stable, comfortable, upright position serviceable for meditation. So I think about keeping our feet flat and our back straight, torso open, hands in the lap right over left with the palms upturned and the thumbs gently touching. Our eyes are gently closed or slightly open, making sure that we let in enough light to remain alert. We try to maintain an awareness of not slouching, not leaning. We also let go of any unnecessary tension or rigidity in the body, relaxing into a stable, comfortable, upright position, just allowing the body to fall into place. Begin to let go of attending to the external world, constraining our awareness just to the body and mind. Beginning to concentrate that awareness in the present moment by attending closely to the physical sensation of the air as it moves into and back out of the tip of the nostrils. Giving ourselves the instruction to notice quickly when anything other than that one physical sensation is arising in the mind, and without judgment or frustration, to lift our awareness up from those distractions and place it gently but firmly again and again on the breath. And when the mind feels more calm, we generate a broad altruistic motivation for our time by beginning to get in touch with one's own interest in being happy, one's own motivation to be completely free of all suffering. And recognizing that there are no sentient beings who don't share that same motivation, no matter their appearance, their actions, their form. Just like oneself, they deeply wish to be happy, deeply wish to be free of suffering. And their claim to be able to accomplish those goals is equal to one's own. And so to take advantage of this life by working to secure that benefit for every sentient being is the greatest way of spending that life, not simply seeking for oneself alone. And so the purpose of my time is to familiarize my mind with its constructive ways of thinking and acting that will lead me to be of greater and greater benefit to sentient beings, clearing away the mistaken, confused attitudes that bring suffering to my own mind and motivate unskillful actions that harm others. Transforming my mind in this way is how I am of benefit and how I can be of greater benefit to countless sentient beings. That motivation, I begin to contemplate the topics of impermanence and the effects of impermanence in terms of the separation, the end of this life, the separation of body and mind. We can begin to understand that all of our experiences are colored by a mistaken view of permanency as if things are unchanging. When we observe something that seems pleasant, we regard it to be truly pleasant from its own side, and permanently, unchangingly pleasant. If something seems unpleasant and it gives rise to a sense of aversion, we find it unbearable because we think that unpleasantness is also unchanging. And so we often go through life grasping at the world of appearances, the labels of pleasant and unpleasant, and unnecessarily attachment and aversion, anger, jealousy, malice. These all flow. So think back over the last week or two and try to get a sense of if that's true in your experience. Do you often get caught up in the world of appearance? We can begin to undermine that sense of permanency by recognizing that all that we cognize depends entirely upon the coming together of causes and conditions. And anything that exists in that way is by definition impermanent, changing moment by moment by moment. No two moments in the continuity of any phenomenon are the same. Our own body began in the womb. From that first moment, began to change. And that process of change has never ceased. There are visible changes that we can observe in the body over time. They depend upon these subtle momentary changes. So the primary principal cause of death is birth. The moment of something coming together sets in motion the causes and conditions of it falling apart. So bring to mind examples from your own life, your own experience, of how all things go through this inevitable process, tending toward their dissolution. And so this body of mine, having also been born out of causes and conditions, is also tending toward its own dissolution. No matter how many friends or possessions or wealth or power or knowledge or influence I amass, this body will cease to be able to be a host to my consciousness. Body and mind will separate. And within the human experience, this can happen at any moment. We feel as though tomorrow is certain. We know what we want to do in the morning, what plans we have. But thousands of people had those same ideas, those same plans, and did not wake up again in this life today. It could easily be oneself. Many people younger than myself have passed away. So we have to think strongly that we can't delay engaging in our spiritual path, thinking that there will be better causes and conditions in the future. Waiting for having more time, more space. You must begin to put energy and effort into developing the mind which, although it separates, it continues. Because when we experience this separation, mm, it's particularly important that the mind be trained, that we are able to peacefully, calmly let go of our attachments, as the mind will separate, and those attachments will sever. So at that time, it is the content of the mind that we can depend upon. So we must also practice with effort, not wasting any more time, so that our genuine refuge, loving kindness, wisdom can act as a protection as body and mind separate at death. And try to set a strong determination in the mind to practice now, to practice with effort, with sincerity. Focus your mind without distraction on that strong motivation. And then when you're ready, we'll come back together. And we'll dedicate. So recollect your altruistic motivation and think that by having engaged in this contemplation, you've actualized that motivation, which has generated positive energy in the mind. And think that you freely offer the fruit of your practice, that positive energy for the benefit of all sentient beings without exception. Thinking strongly when that positive energy ripens, may it serve as a cause and condition to eliminate war and conflict, poverty, famine, disease, disasters, all painful inner and outer conditions. May it fully ripen the minds of all sentient beings. May they quickly meet perfect teachers and arise in a state of full enlightenment. May I too achieve the state of enlightenment so that I might work for the benefit of sentient beings perfectly. May any obstacles facing the Guru's long life be completely dispelled. And may I and all sentient beings in this moment come under the joyful care and guidance of enlightened beings. May we be guided and protected until we swiftly achieve that state of enlightenment. Thank you.